video contains strong language which may be offensive to some viewers and or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
God, it has been forever, Chris, since we have met each other down here in the man cave. We thought, why not start it off season 3 with a bang? Is that correct, sir?
Oh, okay.
You mentioned season. Well, you mentioned you. Well, you know what? Let me cut that out. We thought we would come back with a bang with season 2.
we took a mid-season slump, or
yeah,
what do you want to call it? I don't know.
Yeah, you know, it's been to hell with it. It's how we do it, right? It's how we do it. We haven't had an opportunity to go into man caves for a while because we've been busy with other things in life. So anyone that has been enjoying some reruns here lately, and it's been mask related with WMP, and then of course with Joel Powers, JP Studios, because Chris and I know we keep on talking about this, that we want to focus more on, because 'tis the season's coming up, Halloween, mask related. In fact, I've been seeing that Mr. Mike Golden, Mike's Horror Corner, he is attempting, well, no, attempting is the wrong word. He is sculpting his first Myers, and he's sharing it with everyone. And Mike Golden, if you're watching, man, I want to continue seeing you sharing what you're doing. It looks pretty, it's different, but it looks really good. So I don't know. I'll put some pictures up here for MHC for you guys to see what I'm talking about. He's been following me with that other YouTube channel for a long time, and maybe one of these days, he's actually in a band himself. He's a really good musician. And also I just thought I would bring a little horror stuff in real quick, because we do have our good friend Andrew with us. And
hello, welcome back.
Yes,
I'm back.
So I got all the boring stuff out of the way. Andrew, how the hell are you doing? Oh,
I've been doing all right. I've been doing all right. Yeah, I've been doing good. Keeping up with my real estate, and basically have moved brokerages since we spoke last, and took the family last night. We went and saw Twisters. Obviously, since I'm from Oklahoma, have to kind of check that out and see how it was. And it was okay. My opinion. It is kind of cool, though. They did feature a town really close to me, probably I'd say about 10 minutes from me, that the main event in the movie takes place in, which is kind of cool. It's just kind of cool to see some of that stuff that you're familiar with actually on the tube. And I actually got to see Glenn Powell at the airport one day when I was dropping my dad off to go. He was getting ready to go fly a trip, and dropped him off, and they were filming there right there at the end of Oklahoma City Airport, right there in front of the Southwest Airlines gates as you walk in. So when you guys watch that movie towards the end, that's right there. And I was driving by and I was like, holy crap, that's Glenn Powell. That was pretty amazing. Oh, yeah, so I got to see that. That was pretty cool. But yeah, everything's been going great. How about you guys?
Yeah, Chris, how has it been for you here lately?
Man, oh man. It's trying to keep my head above water is what I'm doing right now. Started the new career, just trying to keep up. It's it's kind of a young man's game. I am 41, and it's just, I'll get the occasional razz, the older guy thing and stuff like that. And
what are you doing, Chris? Now that you switched from the other, what are you doing?
I'm doing wildlife control, which
that's cool.
Sounds different than I thought it was going to be. Like, I initially going into it, because Natalie went to school with the owners. So that's how she found out they were hiring. And, man, going into it, I thought I'd be like, trapping nonstop, or trapping this animal, that animal, rescuing, doing whatever, taking animals out of situations. While there is a little bit of that, a lot of it is like repairing, like construction work, repairing
Oh,
damages
wow.
by wildlife and stuff like that, and
Wow.
doing like attic restorations and everything. So yeah, I should
Holy
have
smoke.
read the job offer better, but
Is it like from birds or what's that about? The attic stuff.
man, flying squirrels,
Wow. Wow.
gray squirrels, red squirrels. I mean, there's several raccoons that get up into attics and cause
Wow.
havoc. They
Trash pandas.
mess
Yeah.
shit up. Groundhogs, a little bit of coyote. Sometimes they get into geese, migratory
Wow.
birds. They cover a lot of shit, man, and
Wow.
it's very different. There's a lot of opportunities, but I wanted to change
Wasn't what you
things
expected.
around, and I wanted to be home. So
Sure.
that's what I'm telling all these guys. I'm like, I've already been to the pony show. I've already been to the carnival. I've already seen the hoops and tricks and what you jump through for money. I ain't doing this for money. I'm doing this to try to make my family life better. That's what I'm doing.
That's right. Good for you. That's
I don't
amazing.
care about the money. In short.
Yeah, and I think the older you get, you kind of realize that, don't you? I mean, it's just like
absolutely.
The older you get, you're just like, why am I sacrificing all this time and missing out on my children's lives? Because it goes by like that, I mean, I've got one that's starting sophomore in college this year, and two sophomore in high school. So yeah, it just goes by so quickly. And when I was working for Honda for 16 years, that's why I left. I mean, it was just like, it's too much time. I'm spending too much time away from them. And yeah, I had to get out. I was like, I'm done with it, and glad to be done with it. Just because, now I'm my own boss. I can set my schedule. If I don't want to work today, I don't work today. If I do want to work today, I do. So it's just kind of one of those things.
Very nice.
Frees things up for the family. You know what I mean?
Can't get it back, man. Once it's gone, it's gone.
It's gone. And it goes by quick. As you know, Scott, your boy's grown all up too, So it just goes by quickly.
Yeah, my son's probably older than some of the guys that, oh, God. Yeah, they probably are older than some of the. Yeah, I mean, Chris, what you described, it almost sounds like a fancier way of the Dayton Police Department of what they go through on a daily basis. Construction, picking up after the animals that are basically running around there every day with their whole fentanyl and everything else. And of course, Andrew, we're having a little bit of celebrity issues ourselves down the road. There have been shooting movies in Cincinnati. In fact, there's one out in the theaters now. I wish I had the full name of the title. It has to do with bikers. I guess it's based on a true story. It's supposed to be they're in Chicago, a biker gang.
Oh, okay.
I wish I could think of the name of the title right now. Of course,
it's at the theaters at the moment.
Yeah. The actor, who played Elvis Presley, the latest Elvis Presley or whatever.
Oh, okay, yeah, the same kid that was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
No, that's not.
Yep, that's him. He played Tex in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He was the bad guy that came in and pointed the gun at Brad Pitt. Tex. And that's the same guy that played Elvis in the new Elvis movie.
I'm thinking, I was actually thinking of when Leonardo DiCaprio, when he's on the Hollywood Universal Studios set with his, that's who I was thinking. Never mind. Okay.
Yeah.
But
that's Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy's in it also. Austin. Austin is his first name. I forget his last name. And then Norman Reedus is also in there.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be good then.
A lot of scenes.
It's finally. Go ahead, Scott. I'm sorry.
Yeah, a lot of scenes that they shot in that film was shot in Cincinnati, around town, and yeah, it's pretty cool. And this past week, which we're not supposed to know, but locally they knew on our local, the original podcast 700 WLW. They were letting everybody know that certain locations were going to be closed down because of a film shoot. Warner Brothers was shooting a film. They were trying their best to hide it, but everyone around here knew it was a new Superman movie. So they decided on a Thursday to close down from 4 to 6. Okay, there's a state highway, Interstate 71, that goes through Ohio into Kentucky.
Wow.
And it's called a Lytle Tunnel. which it's a really great view of downtown Cincinnati. So they shut that down for 4 hours, but they would reopen it every 15 minutes just to shoot a scene that apparently Superman's going to be flying through, which that'll be really cool to see in the future. It's supposed to be out next year. And there is an old, damn it, of course, I did a podcast, so you forget every damn name of everything, but there's also something that was actually originally inspired from the Justice League, which is actually down in Cincinnati, which we'll see in that film as well. So you got Twister shot in your neck of the woods, and we've got up and coming Superman, and of course the movie that I couldn't remember as well.
So, what are your thoughts, guys, on the new Superman? That new suit and the new actor.
Well, before we get into that, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you, Andrew and Chris, what the fuck are you drinking tonight during this podcast?
Yeah.
What the fuck you drinking?
Dos Equis.
Yeah, I'm kind of a Mexican beer kind of guy. That's just me.
Is that the lager or the?
Well, my favorite is the amber, but when I went to Walmart earlier, all they had was the lager, so I went with the lager this time. But amber is my favorite.
I will smash some double X's and some Modelo. Modelo.
Yeah, Modelo's great too. It's great too. You know what's crazy about this beer is that it's a German recipe. I don't know if you guys knew that.
That sounds about right.
but they took it and down in Mexico and made it in Mexico, but it's a German recipe, which is kind of cool.
I'll take it. It. I got Branch and Bone. It is called Keep On a Knockin'. Keep on knocking.
Keep on a knocking.
You can't come in, baby. This is hazy India Pale Ale. I got a whole bunch of different hops, citrus notes, some mango, some Sauv Blanc. I don't even know what the hell that is, but yeah,
it's a wine.
Let's give.
It's got some grapes in it. Then
I was afraid because when I put this in the freezer, I put it down sideways, and I was afraid it's gonna fucking go everywhere.
Yeah.
So, what location is that again? Do you know where it's out of?
Branch and Bone it's downtown Dayton.
Oh, holy shit! Well, I'm going with the West Coast beer. It's that IP, that Stone, Chris. This one I haven't had yet. Beer? Yeah, this one I have not had yet. Snoop Dogg beer.
Snoop Dogg beer. Oh, this is light.
Well, it's got weed in it then. You better be careful.
It better have, all our beer has weed in it.
No, not wheat. Weed.
What do you think weed is?
It's a plant.
There you go. Just trying to.
How can it be bad when it comes from Mother Earth?
That's right. That's right. I'm going to kill these. See these lights over my shoulder here? I'm going to kill these real quick.
Okay. Do either one of you, Andrew or Chris, do you ever get that not so fresh feeling?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, thanks to our new sponsors, Mass and Gilbert. Yes. Mass and Gilbert. It sounds a lot like a Mass and Gil, but it's from Mass and Gilbert. Basically, they will leave you feeling, fresh and clean. Yes, they're dedicated to basically affect a formula that cleanses you with some irritations down there. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a comfort, glide strip with the flexible neck bottle. It's comfortable and easy to use. Mass and Gilbert. Freshness made simple. I don't know where we went.
Only available at Bubba.
She's cloudy. She's cloudy. Do you see that? Oh, man.
There, that helps the camera a little bit, I think. Nice. Cheers, gentlemen.
Well, yeah. Oh, and I have a sidekick, of course, but let's see. How you already knows your taste like, Andrew. Chris, have you had that? I have never had this before.
Nope, she's brand new. And she is good.
This is good.
I'll take it.
This is good. You'd like this, Chris. I already know you like the, what was it called? Fuck Me or whatever the fuck that beer was called.
That is my favorite beer.
That's what she said.
Every time I say it, or every time I drink it, I say it. Fuck me.
And of course, I have long overdue. I'm going to be celebrating a birthday drink right now.
Well, happy birthday.
Sidekick. Well, it was back in June, so I thank you. Mine, I think, is a week before yours.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So happy 21 to you as well, Andrew.
Yeah, thank you.
And Chris
Finally able to drink.
And Chris is actually responsible for my sidekick tonight. This is one of my favorite Irish whiskeys.
Oh, wow.
It's called Redbreast. It's actually manufactured through Jameson, and this is some aged shit. And I told him I was going to wait and open it to our next podcast, which was, well, we'll just pretend it was last week.
It was easily a month ago, wasn't it? Damn.
Yeah. Oh, we already said we were going to take a break anyway, so I don't know why I'm pretending. And damn it, I thought I cut that good enough. Well, I'm doing this, guys. You were talking real quick, Andrew, about Superman.
Yeah, I mean, what's kind of funny is I was a little kid back in the day, and of course I grew up with Christopher Reeve, and that's from my era. I'm kind of aging myself, but that's okay. And it's just I kind of fell in love with the whole Henry Cavill thing. So the whole switch from Henry Cavill to the new guy. I'm sorry, I don't remember his name at the moment, but I know James Gunn directed it. And Corn Sweat, I think, is his last name. I don't know. I'm interested to see what it's going to be. You know, it's kind of hard to take Cavill out of it for me.
Yes.
So, it was a hard change from Reeve to Cavill, and then once I saw it, I mean, it made sense. So I'm hoping I feel the same once the new one comes out.
Does anybody remember the in between there, Brandon
Roth.
Roth. I think if him and Zach Mariah make a porno, honestly,
he's like a little blip in the timeline. No, everybody wants to. I'm a Henry fan as well.
Yep.
I think they nailed it with him being Superman. Superman isn't my favorite character, I'll be honest.
Right.
But I feel like Henry was a good fit. So yeah, it is going to be hard to go to this new guy. For sure, but I'm not too attached to it, I guess. So it'll be easy for me, I think.
Yeah, my only thing is that I guess I know that they're going to improve it, with special effects and such, but just the original that new suit is just like I've seen some shots of it, and I'm just like it makes him look fat, and I'm like I don't like it. I don't know.
Maybe this is this is the Superman movie that's made for me. Fat Man.
Easy.
No.
Easy.
You don't say that.
Yeah. But
I don't know.
That's back to that. The suit is just kind of what threw me off, and I know that the suit is from the original comic. I do know that, so that is kind of cool. But I just wish they would have made it. We'll see how it looks in the movie. Because obviously the finished product probably will be better than the screenshots that I've seen online.
And I don't want to be one of the like haters that because they did the same shit to like Heath Ledger when he was going to be Joker.
Joker.
Everybody talks shit. They did it to Robert Pattinson. Pattinson?
Yep.
Pattinson. Whatever his name is. Twilight Boy. They did the same thing to him, and I really did not have a problem with it. I like how they leaned into the detective aspect of Batman.
Okay.
I like I can get with the whole thing. So I don't want to be one of those guys that trashes it because this guy may put his heart and soul into it. And
sure. That's why I said I'm interested in seeing the final product. So, like I said, I want to be the same. I don't want to trash it. It's just going to hard switch from Cavill to someone new. I wish they would have just, he's still, he is aging, but he's not aging that much, and I would have liked to seen a Man of Steel 2.
Dude, Henry's a beast, man.
And I mean, even in Black Adam at the very end, when you see him come in, you're like, oh yes.
Yeah.
And we'll never see the sequel to that, and so that's just a little frustrating, that the big boys can't get it figured out at the top at Warner Brothers. That's too bad.
How do you feel about Zack Snyder? You a fan or?
I actually, his cut I thought was better than what they did, in my opinion.
Oh yeah,
yeah. His director's cut was way better than the original that I saw in the theater. So yes, I'm a huge Zack Snyder fan. I thought it was pretty amazing. So it's kind of my stand on it.
Speaking of, this made me think of Chris Pine, if I'm thinking the name right. It was in the actually Wonder Woman. Yes, I'm thinking of the Star Treks that were out. The three, and I really enjoyed them, and I enjoyed him. Sorry, Meyer fans, I enjoyed him as Captain Kirk. Yep. And in the first Star Trek, where he's sitting at the bar, or that's the second one, and they pour that, some whiskey, and they got that little round ice cube. I'm like, just as we were talking about, I'm like, this reminds me of Chris Pine. Well,
so it'll be interesting.
Not to burst the bubble on the film stuff right now, guys. We've had a definitely busy week. The world we live in, there's no doubt about it. I know Chris and I don't normally dwell on trending topics, but damn, this week kind of reminded me, Andrew, Chris, of back in the 80s, where there was so much stuff going on in the film industry or just life itself. This past week was like that. It seemed like starting last Friday, you would hear, a Baldwin basically, well, he's don't have to worry about, his ordeal with the whole movie that he was involved in with Rust.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the prosecution basically making a huge fumble there. And I didn't follow it that much, but I guess it shocked a lot of people that he was.
Well, my question is why is he now the woman that passed, was she the director or the producer?
She was a camera operator.
Director of cinematography, I think. Yeah.
Okay. So I guess my question is, obviously we don't know all the details on it, but why are you pointing a gun anyway at a cinematographer?
The only thing I can think of is they wanted like a cool, like a Reservoir Dogs.
Guys, it happens in every film in that industry where you have guns. There's always a gun pointing in some direction. There's 9 times out of 10, it's at a camera operator.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. It's sad. It sucks. Shit happens. As we all know, shit has definitely been happening a lot this week. Meet us in the man caves. Underwear that's fun to wear. Super duper absorbent materials that absorbs 25 times its weight, neutralizes that shitty and pissy odors with our lavender musk scent. Shitty male protection to pissy male protection. Maximum overloads. Meet us in the man cave's fresh protection underwear that's so damn fun to wear. Now come on, what are you wearing?
Only available at Bubba.
Guys, help me out here. 90210.
I can help you. We lost Shelley Duvall. We lost Shannon Daugherty.
Yep.
We lost Richard Simmons.
Simmons. Bob Newhart.
We lost quite a few.
Yeah. And sadly, an innocent bystander, I think we all know exactly what I'm talking about here, lost his life just because he wanted to show up.
Family.
Yeah, protect his family. In fact, I believe it was a week ago I heard a situation where a woman protected her daughter. Her daughter's alive today because her mom did the same thing, stepped in front of the bullet. Another, hero. And these are obviously innocent bystanders. I know every day you could shake your head to what you hear, what goes on in the world, but let's face it. It was about this time last week where everybody was like, holy shit, Trump just got shot.
Yeah.
And it's been a whirlwind since then.
All Americans are feeling that, whether you're on that side or you're not on that side or whatever the case may be. Everyone is kind of cash poor in this day and age, really. Just with the way inflation is, the cost of, food and gas and just everything, it's
housing. You should know that.
Housing. Absolutely. I have to deal with that on a daily. Rates being high, people coming straight out of college that can't even qualify just because they don't make enough money. It's just
beer's getting
unfortunately, it reminds me of the 80s, like you said. It reminds me of the Reagan era a little bit just because of what happened to him and him getting shot and then coming back and him turning the economy back around when it was on its back.
And ironically, after Reagan had gotten shot, that's a lot of people. I was just 10 years old going on 11 when that happened. But I remember, people, the baby boom generation would say Reagan all of a sudden became a president that everybody loved after that.
Right.
So kind of makes you wonder, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I don't know. I just, if we're going to go there, I mean, I'm going to speak my mind on this topic. I just feel like there is an
Let's
agenda.
turn your microphone on real quick. Okay, go ahead and speak.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. You're good. No, it's just that I feel like there's a dark agenda that's going on that the American people don't know about. And it's kind of scary. It's kind of scary. So I don't know. Hopefully everyone will get out there and vote. Do I agree with everything? Do I think he's stupid on Twitter or X or whatever? Yeah. I mean, but we need our economy back. We need to bind together on differences. We need a better president is what we need. We need someone that can turn this around. And that's kind of where I stand on that. I feel like we've got so much division in the country, and there's an evil left that is trying to take over. And I think there are so many parts of the world that are involved in that, whether it be China, lots of communist things that are going on. It's just kind of scary. So,
I'm not a fan of China.
Yeah, me neither.
It's funny because, as you just said, that's usually what I tell people whenever we get into any sort of Trump conversation. I'm like, whether you like him or you don't, our economy likes him.
Right.
That's the only thing I can tell you right there. I'm actually a fan of Robert Frank Kennedy. RFK.
Oh, that guy that you just can't stay listening to after about 10 minutes. Yeah, I know. I know.
That's actually where my vote will be.
Cool.
Gary, I always used to vote for Gary Burbank, but you guys probably don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But, here's the thing. As an editor and someone who does this podcast with Chris and others, our guests like Andrew, I know what Trump needs to do. Shut the fuck up every once in a while. Just shut the fuck up and move on.
Just do your job. Just do your job. We don't need to hear it. Yeah, just do your job.
We don't need 90-minute speeches about, okay, we know, stop beating a dead horse.
Right.
So.
And stay off Twitter or X. I mean, I know it's not Twitter anymore, but X. Just stay off of it.
But then again, Andrew, you know as well as I do, I'm not pointing fingers at a single soul. I think a lot of people need to stay the fuck off of social media. Play on a little bit, whatever. But you know what? Shut up, Scott. I don't control the world. People don't listen to me anyways, but that's just my feelings on it.
Love him or hate him, he didn't deserve to be shot.
No, and on the flip side of the coin, if you think about it, gentlemen, whether you like him or you don't like him, he's put up with more shit than any president.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, they throw the kitchen sink, the bathtub, the couches, everything they throw at this guy, and it's just amazing the resolve this guy has to put up with it. He doesn't even need to do it. I mean, he's a billionaire. He doesn't need it. So it's just amazing.
I guarantee he went up 10 points right there.
Yeah.
As soon as he went down, I don't know who did what. I don't know who hired who, or if this was a lone gunman type situation. By the way, he did have 3 names. If you guys noticed that, all the great.
Yeah, his last name's pretty interesting. Yeah, of course, his last name. Oh, come on, you got to be kidding me with that last name of his.
Yep.
Crooks.
Yep.
But either way, where was I going with that?
Oh yeah, here we go. I got a video that I'm going to show you guys that's on this subject matter. I got to get it ready, but please continue.
Well, I just feel like I am for our Constitution. Period. Constitution is where I stand on my belief on our country. And I feel like that there's an evil side that is trying to take that away from us, take our freedoms. And it's kind of obvious. I mean, that's just my stand on it. You guys may agree or disagree with it, but I just feel like that it's coming from every angle. They don't want him in there. They don't want Trump in there because they know that he will hold people accountable. So do I agree with all that he does? Absolutely not. But however, like you said, Chris, he made our economy good until he pissed off the Chinese and he put those tariffs on them. And I feel like that's why they released COVID. I mean, they're a communist country. And they don't care if they're killing their own people. They need to do that to cut down on their population and try to weaken our country. That's just kind of my stand on it.
That is
my opinion on it.
That is where I was going. That literally, when he went down and he came back up, and then he put his fist in the air, they made that man look like a hero,
especially with the flag behind him.
Yeah,
I mean, good God, they gave that guy an entire campaign right there. What, by accident, maybe, whatever, but they just pretty much handed it to him. Like, it's
well, we'll see. I feel like that there's enough evil though that if really they want to, that they could potentially just steal the election if they wanted to bad enough. I feel like they're trying everything to get him out of there. You know, they're trying now. They're shooting at him. You know, Iran, they found out, apparently had a plot to kill him as well. So it's just like no one wants him in office if it affects their agenda. And usually that agenda is the evil left. Now, in my opinion, there's a Republican Party, a Democratic Party, and then there's a left party. There's that party over there that's really evil. And that's just kind of my opinion on it.
I'm going to make sure that I show this while you're on this topic real quick. Sure. And I don't know if you guys have seen this. I find it quite interesting. Let me make sure I've got this going.
Turn his head. Yes.
Yes. Have you seen this, Andrew?
I have seen that. It's amazing.
Let me make sure I actually go over to
There's also
YouTube.
a photo of the jet stream of the bullet. Passing by.
Yep.
But that right there is just the odds of that.
Yep. It's divine intervention, man. I mean, I'm a believer.
This is messed up too. Has nothing to do with it, but it's amazing how it went to that video there. A body falls from a.
Oh man.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up. So yeah, when I seen that, I'm like, well, definitely, because I knew that we were going to be talking about this. Everybody has been talking about this, and
of course,
the odds. I mean, it's. Wow. I mean, I couldn't help but think, probably just like the two of you, if he had not turned his head, it would have been another Kennedy.
Right. And I'm glad you brought Kennedy up, because that goes right back to the Secret Service, director. I mean, what in the world are we doing? I mean, we've lived through Kennedy in '63.
We never learned from our mistakes in this country. We never did.
It's stupidity. I mean,
Robert was right after that.
It sounds so stupid in the fact that it almost sounds like it was planned, because if any president, I don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican, you need to protect them with everything you can. You need to have a 400 to 500 yard radius around a president, protecting him, and you need to be on every building that's around.
We all know that kid, he was a kid, a 20-year-old kid. They knew that you see videos pop up everywhere where he's walking the premises. They were an hour before the shooting. They were, well, there's something suspicious about this kid with the backpack and this device, whatever. You guys know it better than I do, basically, so he could see, and it's like, if you guys are all aware of this shit and you got snipers on the rooftop, I get it, radio, they're able to communicate. He's over there. But it seemed like they were pointing his direction for a little while. But
10 to 15 minutes, they said, prior to the shots being fired. President Trump, or former President Trump, should have never even been on the stage. I mean, literally.
And all those innocent people standing right there, and all those people.
They should have pulled them off.
And
I don't care. I don't care if it's Biden or Kamala or whoever. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It just
doesn't matter. They're the president. You should be 400, 500 yard radius.
All those people should have been removed from that. And that right there, and I'll shut up because Chris better say something. You think about that. I mean, how the people just stood there. They didn't run like a bat out of hell. They just stood there. And with Trump getting up to basically show everybody that he was okay, and the power of that moment alone was just like, whoa. Yeah. Everybody felt he just won it. Sorry, Chris.
Yeah. Oh, no, I was just going to say, and then I start to, as we're talking about that situation unfolding, I start to remember there's got to be a rules of engagement thing. Like, I don't know if it's, do not fire unless fired upon. I don't know what the rules of engagement are. But then you got that into play. And then you got an incredibly ballsy man. I wouldn't be surprised if Trump was like, no, I'm going either way. Like, you're not going to tell me what to do. I'm going.
If somebody's on, that's the thing is that there were, like you said, Scott, there were people that were spotting this kid already on their phones.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much footage of him spotted on their phones. Like I said, he shouldn't even been on stage. And realistically, those snipers, they should have already taken him out.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, before he even fired, they should have taken him out. Rules of engagement or not, that's your job as a Secret Service, is to protect the commander in chief at all costs. And they dropped the ball.
And
I mean,
I'm just playing devil's advocate, really.
Yeah, I know you are for sure.
And to play into how terrible the media likes to mess with all of us, one particular day I hear, well, the police were inside the building that kid was on top. And then another channel, we'll say channel, said that the police weren't in there. In other words, they were arguing with one another. No, there was no police there. Yes, they were. No, there were not. Yes, they were. I'm like, this is one of the reasons why we are in the predicament and the mess that we're in. It's because a large percentage, has a lot to do with the damn media.
100%. And again, that media is hooked to that left I'm talking about. That's just my opinion on it.
Well, by the way, folks, I'm left-handed and I'm trying to learn everything right-handed. So please give me time.
Not the evil left.
I did see you playing the guitar earlier. Was that left-handed or right-handed?
That's right-handed. I played it because my mentor is right-handed. That's a subject for some other, but we're not going to go there.
There you go.
I promised that. So, because I bring, nope. I'm not bringing somebody who is, shut up. So, we definitely,
Well, anyway, we just need to come together as a country. That's what we need to do, because there's people out for us. There's people out for our country. And, honestly, I watched some of the RNC last week.
Oh, I did too.
That's the best RNC I've ever watched. So
it was good up
until
it
seemed pretty united.
It was good. It was great up until Trump went on way too long. Like I said earlier, Trump, learn from me. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. What were you going to say earlier, Chris? You were going to say something about something we were talking about, and had to do something with the shooting or whatnot.
You just finished or listening to your favorite podcast, Meet Us in the Man Cave, and you've asked yourself that question once again. Do I enjoy a new challenge? Well, thanks to our good friends at Bill, you could start speaking a new language in 3 weeks. So come on, what's stopping you?
Question. Can I do it with my butt cheeks?
Imagine you're over in France and you have a very important business meeting and you bump into your cousin Stacy and you want to impress her with just one simple word. Bonjour. In 2 weeks, you're having a very important spaghetti party and all your Italian friends are going to be over. They're impressed with your spaghetti, but could you imagine how more impressed they will be by just simply shouting out, CIO? Your whole life, you've put it off, and it's finally come to the point where you're over in Germany and you're meeting your grandparents. Do you want to impress them by the fact that you could just simply go up to them and say, hello? Last but certainly not least, you are stuck in a country where they only speak Spanish and you're looking for a speedway. Hey, there's a complete stranger. Maybe I'll ask them. Ho, LA? Thanks to Meet Us in the Man Cave and our good friends at Baby Bella, they're going to help you speak a language in just 3 weeks. Are you still looking for that challenge? What's stopping you?
Only available on Bubba.
The other thing that baffles me is that people post that they wished that he'd been hit.
My God, that's so sick.
Isn't it?
That was so and what really takes me, Tenacious D, one of my favorites, Jack Black and Jack, that really hurt that broke my heart. That broke my heart.
It did.
It really, because, did you hear about that, Chris? I don't know if you've seen that or not. They were in Australia. Okay. No. The Tenacious D's out on tour doing their thing. And Jack Glass, I believe that's correct. Funny as hell. Really, I mean, I've always loved these two. It's his birthday, so they bring a cake out there with this like robotic looking thing or whatever, and then of course Jack says, "Make a wish." And this was last Saturday.
Happy birthday, dear Kyle. Happy Make-A-Wish Canada. Don't miss Trump next time.
And it's heartbreaking. It is extremely heartbreaking.
I like Jack, but no.
Well, I mean, Jack Black didn't say it. I mean, even the look on Jack Black, his face.
Who said it then?
His partner, Glass. I think it's his last name. I may be butchering it. I think his last name is Glass or something like that.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking. It is because I think everybody can relate. People that you admire, let's say it's a band, and then maybe a band member says something very publicly like that, to where you're like, look, I know
his name's Kyle Gass.
Gass, thank you.
Yep.
Jeez,
hell of a guitarist, though.
All I'm reminded of is Mike Myers and Kanye West giving that speech, and then he says something about George Bush does not care about black people. That's all I can think of right now. that's like a train wreck, man.
Speaking of that,
been sitting there like, what are you doing, man?
It's amazing. It is absolutely amazing how we'll go with the Republican Party with Donald Trump. How much the population from the black community, African Americans, how you could see how they're really getting behind because they're tired of the bullshit. They're tired of being lied to.
They are, but also too, they're tired of losing the jobs to the immigrants that are coming in illegally.
Oh my! Oh God, that subject alone infuriates the hell out of me.
Yeah, and of course, guys. I mean, I live in Oklahoma, so we see that a little more here than probably up north a little more, which I'm sure you see too.
Andrew, but I respect the fact that you see what you see, and I get that, and I understand it. But we're dealing with Oklahoma. You might as well put Oklahoma and Ohio right next door to each other. I kid you not. Yeah.
Everyone's dealing with it, and I would agree with that. Off to a different subject, but my kiddos were with my dad almost just 2 weeks ago. They almost went up to the. I believe you guys have an ark from the Bible that's up there, a kind of a museum up there with the ark.
I think it's
up in Ohio
Kentucky.
somewhere, or near Kentucky. That's right. Yes, but they were going to be up in y'all's neck of the woods. And then they ended up switching right at the last minute and went to Colorado instead. But I almost called you guys.
Yeah, I honestly think I know, Andrew. I know you've been to Ohio before, but I honestly think if you were here, you would see some similarities with how a lot of people in our neighborhoods and
I think so.
You would trust me. You would be like, I get it. Why you guys are because it's not much different than what we are here. I've said to you before, we have our cities. I'll say Dayton, Ohio, Columbus, and Cincinnati. In those three cities, I'll use this as an example because we're close to those three major metropolitan areas. That's in the heart of those towns. It seems that's where you have your more, liberal, left wings. And as soon as you get out about maybe 5 to 10, 15 minutes, all of a sudden it's just red everywhere. But that's like that almost in every state, it seems.
Well, and I think more people are finally feeling the crux of it, of just where the economy is. In the last 40 years of Biden, they've seen what he's been able to do and what he hasn't done, and it's affecting our country.
As we're talking right now, I know the two of you are very much aware of it. The Democratic Party it's getting to the point you hear more and more and more. Look, he's got to. No, there. Even when Obama is basically saying, "Buddy, you got to call it quits." Right. So as we speak right now, Chris and I normally record our podcast on a Saturday evening. There's been major speculations. I'll say speculations that Biden could be making an announcement after this weekend. It wouldn't surprise me after everything we've witnessed this week.
So I mean, say he defaults, who are we going to?
Well, he will continue. He will continue being the president up till his term is up.
Yeah, it's just who's their new golden boy?
You want my opinion on who the only person that stands a chance?
That'd be the 25th Amendment if they were to vote him out now. So
right,
but go ahead, Andrew.
Well, my opinion, the only person that stands a chance against Trump is Michelle Obama.
That I've been here. That'll talk a lot. And of course, what does she say?
I almost said it. I almost said Michael Obama.
Michael Obama.
My dad calls her Big Mike. Big Mike. So, but realistically, I mean, the Democratic Party loves the Obamas, and
yeah, they do.
I think, Obama himself can't run again, so it would be Big Mike running. So we'll see. We'll see.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I want to. It's like everything is that situation alone with Donald Trump, with that incident that happened to him. I mean, let's bring it down to the human aspect of it. We were basically touching that momentarily ago, but there's no doubt about it. I mean, just imagine what it was like to be after he got his shoes back on, not trying to make fun of the situation, but I want to get to that before I forget. Why? I want to ask you guys, I already know what you're feeling on this, but why do you have, let's say, bodyguards that are way too short? Oh, I know it's the diversity thing, but right. Come on. It's the president. Right. You get somebody his size or taller, not somebody who's shorter than me to protect the man.
Right. Yeah. You need big boys is what you need. You need big boys in there protecting our commander in chief, honestly, whether you're just a candidate, which Trump is at this moment, or whether you're Biden or Harris or Barack Obama, you need big people in there.
So why is RFK getting denied?
Yes. Actually, the funny thing of it is, he stated it publicly, Biden did, if he remembered, that Kennedy should be getting that protection now too. He should, and he should.
They did give it to him.
Oh, okay.
If you guys know
recent then?
Yeah, it was recent in the last probably 3 or 4 days that's happened. So Biden did give him Secret Service protection. He's been calling on it for the last
I've been on
6
his email
to 8
thing.
months.
Yeah, I've been on his email thing. He's been asking for support to protest this for 6 to 8 months, just like you said.
Yep, and I agree. I mean, if you're a candidate, you should have protection. Period.
And
how about if your uncle and your father were both the same?
Yeah, if your name's a Kennedy,
100%.
I mean, come on, what was he doing, man? What was Sleepy Joe on that? It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, and I don't think it's Sleepy Joe's sleepy, but there's other people pulling the strings, in my opinion.
And on to the whole diversity thing, we'll leave it at that. I know you guys have seen those videos where we have individuals that couldn't look. I understand that situation was shocking. It was scary for all of us, but you had a gentleman there that showed no emotions at all because he was doing his job as a Secret Service agent. Then you have another woman. First of all, when they were throwing the shoes off the stage, it almost looked like a gun as well was being thrown off the stage. What the fuck that was going on there? Second, we all seen the one where she can't find her holster. Yeah, I started thinking of Chris when his last house.
Thanks.
No. I know that sounded messed up. I started thinking of Chris as this is a compliment on you, my man, my friend. Back at his old house, Andrew, before he was dealing with some issues at the old house. Now that it's sold and they've got one mortgage now, there was some shit going down in the neighborhood. And unfortunately, it had to land in their front yard. Well, Chris and I are doing a podcast. He's downstairs, literally. Hey, get to say it for the first time on his bar. We'll say it was a bar. And the dogs were going nuts. And then Chris shows me footage later privately. There was some assholes basically not minding their own business. We'll leave it at that, scrumming through his yard. So Chris is showing me from this Ring camera. Chris is going out there like a fucking American badass with his shotgun. I mean, Chris was like prepared. And I'm thinking, Chris should have been fucking protecting the president that day because he at least had control.
Right. Well,
I would have picked a rifle.
I don't care. Chris looked like he'd been doing this for fucking 30 years. what? Get the fuck off my. I mean,
sure.
It is almost like he was doing it, with his eyes closed, or like, like a trained musician closing their eyes playing a guitar. It's like, yeah, we needed Chris protecting the president that day.
Yeah, those were. It was some crackheads. It was some druggies. And there's only one.
And I kind of encountered some of
that
that too this couple weeks ago too. I was mentioning to you guys before we got on today. I had a guy follow me, and I mean, he threatened me. I mean, I had a buggy I don't know if you guys know what Brahms is, but I was trying to get into a Brahms, and he followed me in there. Initially he pulled out in front of me, and then I went around him 5 miles over the speed limit and pulled in, made my parking, and didn't realize he'd followed me and really kind of threatened me and tried to attack me. And he realized he had screwed up when he got inside the store, and obviously he just kept screaming, pointing at me, using expletives that that won't repeat. But it was kind of spooky. I mean, I had my pistol with me, and I thought, boy, howdy, if this guy comes at me, it's not going to end up good. So I just tried to, obviously tried to calm him down the best way I could. And, he kept screaming and threatening me, and I kind of smiled, and then that wasn't a good thing, I guess. And that kind of fired him up even more. And finally I just realized, hey, I need to try to diffuse this situation, because I definitely don't want to use my pistol, and I definitely don't want to be in jail for taking someone's life. So I let him win as far as having his temper tantrum, and let him get his stuff. And I think he really realized it once he went inside the store and put his stuff at the counter. He's like, I got to go, because I was going to get his tag number, and he left his stuff at the counter and took off. So a little bit of a spooky moment, but you can see that all over the country right now. People are just under a lot of pressure.
I want to ask, since you're on that subject, Andrew, and this be asking the both of you, since I know I've noticed that in a week, I have heard diddly squat about the Second Amendment, guns, violence, the relation, with the left.
Right.
You haven't heard that at all this week.
Well, I did hear that Biden mentioned. Yeah. Biden mentioned that he was going to try to outlaw AR-15s. Good luck, Biden.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen. Good luck. Because that is our Second Amendment. It's us good guys that usually are the ones that have to take, the heat for it. It's the criminals that are doing the issues, and that they're causing this stuff. So it's just something, I don't think that will ever take place. And unfortunately, as much as I hate to say what I'm about to say, I hope that it doesn't happen, but,
it won't.
One of these days, us good old boys are going to get tired of all the BS.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, but when you start taking our rights away and start treating us like we're a communist country, I think us good old boys are going to stand up, and we're not going to allow it. Do I want violence? Absolutely not. I want peace, and I want freedom, and I want our Constitution and our Bill of Rights, and I want our history to be respected. And not stolen from us, with monuments being taken down and different things like that, which is just, for me, is unacceptable. It's our history.
Yeah.
We've made lots of faults in the past with slavery and different things like that. There's no doubt about it. I've never been prejudiced whatsoever. I mean, I've grown up with lots of friends that I have that are African Americans, maybe Indian Americans, Native Americans. So I just don't understand how we've gotten to the point where everyone is wanting to try to get violent with one another, and it's gonna push us good old boys in one of these days, and I hate to say it, but maybe to a civil war, which I hopefully doesn't happen.
Yeah, it seems like since 2020 we've been hearing that a lot, and I feel like if we were to look at a chart, maybe I'm going to use the word pivot. But it seems like it dropped a couple percentages to where I'm no professional.
This next election is going to be very telling.
It's like I'm starting. Sorry, Chris, go ahead, please.
I was just going to say I'm waiting on it, boys. I don't want to be the downer. I'm waiting on it. Yeah. I'm waiting for that civil war. We used to go to war over 2% tax. I mean, come on.
I got my.
We're like 30% now. Where's it at? Where is it at? Our forefathers would be spinning in the fucking grave right now.
Guys, I know we could go on and on and on about the subject, and I know Chris and I privately have hinted about talking about this subject matter in the future. And we also have Dustin, who will be joining us in the future about the Second Amendment. And Andrew, I'm going to invite you now before my bad. Meet Us in the Man Cave apparel available now. Get your very own Meet Us in the Man Cave house, boat, car, child, guitar, batteries, dishes, household apparel, kitchen apparel, hoodies, sweatshirts, t-shirts, shower curtains, phone cases. Oh, the list could go on and on and on. Isn't that right, Chris?
Question. Can Chris? I do it with my butt cheeks?
Meet Us in the Man Cave apparel available right now at redbubble.com. Remember, only a few of those items are available, including hats. So, Andrew, sorry, I had a brain fart. I had to do an ad there. I would like Chris, would you like to please help me out here? I'm just brain farting about Second Amendment and the future podcast.
Like a roundtable discussion you're talking about the Second Amendment, getting Dustin and I believe his friend, I forget his name now, but we wanted to do a little roundtable, just going over, everything that pertains, kind of like a knowledge segment, I think, because a lot of people just don't know their own rights.
Well, and I will say, I just showed my pistol, and I never get that thing out. No one ever knows I have it.
But think it's well within rights to exercise it.
Absolutely, and the only time I would ever get it out is if I absolutely had to use it, ever. That's the only time that I would ever get it out to use it. For an example, that guy, if you guys had seen what I went through that day, it was quite surprising that I was able to kind of calm this guy down and just let him win, because I don't want to hurt anybody. Mm-hmm. Absolutely not. That's not what my carrying is about. I carry it to protect myself and my family, period. So, and this country, that's
your
what
daughters.
I stand for. And my daughters, yeah.
And your wife, sorry.
Yep.
I have a question for you real fast. Concealed carry what is Oklahoma's stance on that right now?
Well, used to, you had to have a concealed carry license, which here, let me grab mine. I can show it to you. Mine has since expired, but now Oklahoma, you don't need one.
I was going to.
So that's why I didn't renew it.
Ohio's the same way.
Yeah, you don't have to, at the time, you don't have to renew it, but that was mine at the time, which it expired in, it was issued in 12 and then expired, I'm looking here, in 2022 is when mine expired. So, it's kind of nice now. I did get pulled over a couple weeks ago and just wasn't thinking. And the officer asked me, he goes, when are you going to let me know you got your pistol? And I said, sorry, officer, sorry. Because here in Oklahoma, you're supposed to let them know that you have it in the car.
It's good practice.
Yeah. It is. And I just completely forgot about it. I was a little frustrated. I was out in the middle of nowhere, Oklahoma, showing a property out in the middle of nowhere. And I pulled up to this stop sign and I rolled it. I did. I broke the law. I rolled the stop sign. I looked left and looked right, and I was probably doing about 3 or 4 miles an hour. No one was coming. It was down an old road. You could see, as far as the eye could see, east and west. And so he was sitting back in a field behind some corn, and I couldn't see him. And he came and got me, and that was kind of the first thing that he said. He said, hey, when are you going to let me know about your weapon? And I said, you're right, sir. I'm sorry. And so he was like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But I am going to write you a ticket for running the stop sign. I said, well, I kind of BS'd him for a little bit. I said, I thought it was a yield sign. He goes, no, it's a stop sign. And he goes, you want to see? He goes, you want to see it? And I go, yeah, I want to see it. And he showed it to me. And sure as shit, of course, I rolled it. And I said, all right, sir, thank you. And I took my ticket and moved on down the road and paid it. But yeah, it is what it is.
Right.
Well, Chris, I don't mean to get in your way here. I just real quick, I want to thank everybody that has been supporting Meet Us in the Man Cave here on YouTube, Apple Spot, your favorite, listening podcasting app. I really do appreciate it. I know I'm not going to put words in Chris's mouth, but I really do appreciate it. Like I said, we're going to try to push forward more in the future. Hopefully we will start getting into that latex. I think once Chris and I start actually getting our hands dirty with it, we won't stop.
You know, it's let me take my part of the blame. I'm doing this whole lifestyle change, you know, a house, a job change, all the things that, I mean, it's an entirely different lifestyle change now. And I have been kind of dragging my feet on getting that fucking master room drywalled. It's framed up, just not drywalled yet. So that's why you're not seeing more activity with that yet.
And I feel, even though I'm not physically dealing with Chris is dealing with, because it's at his place, because I actually have to go over there to be a part of it. I mean, yeah, I could do it here, but I think in my heart, in my mind, I'm thinking MCM is above Chris's head right now. That's what we've talked about. And to be fair, I've been lazy about it. But at the same time, I've been focusing on something else that's been extremely passionate in my life. That's why we've added the music into our podcast. And I don't want to say I'm guilty of it, but you know, I mean, you guys can see what's behind me. I got this bastard that I got to make sure I get paid off by the end of August. If not, it's going to cost me more. We know how credit cards are, right, guys? Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, I've been focusing on my music, and I always think in the back of my mind, damn it, I want to get back into my masks too. So we will focus on MCM, which Andrew, we will get you your H6, because not to mention, we'll discuss it privately about other goals that we have that Andrew, you will receive as well. Cause we want to get your your perspective, an honest opinion on an MCM mask. Cause that's one of my major goals. I know it's Chris as well. Sure. I'm going to push him into it. I don't fucking care. We've got to make our own mask. Right. Even if the Meyer mask looks like it's the first official ashtray mask, I don't care. It has to be done.
Even if it looks like shit, people can use it as a paperweight.
I've got this bucket list taken care of. I need the other one taken care of.
It's beer 30 for me. I got to grab one. Excuse me.
Speaking of which, are you a complete loser? Well, go open a can of Meet Us in the Man Cave beer. It friggin' tastes awesome.
Drink responsibly. Only available at Bubba.
Well, folks, thank you so much for watching, for listening to this particular podcast. I know you have been a huge part of what's been going on this past week. Chris, any last words on this subject before we start into the next one?
Hit that fucking button.
Chris and I would like to thank you for watching or listening to Meet Us in the Man Cave. Since you enjoyed watching us, make sure that you tell all your friends and family to subscribe to Meet Us in the Man Cave here on YouTube. Make sure you click on that notification bell. That way you're notified on our next video podcast or live stream video. Better yet, if you appreciate freedom of speech and oppose of censorship for content creators, make sure you follow Meet Us in the Man Cave on Rumble. Are you on Discord? Well, Meet Us in the Man Cave's there. Come and hang out with us. You can find and follow Meet Us in the Man Cave on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads. And as always, you can listen and download Meet Us in the Man Cave on your favorite podcasting app. Available to stream or download so you can listen all you want, whenever you want. For more information, go to meetusinthemancave.podbean.com.